Hey now, okay, so it is day 15, halfway through the challenge with Kiara LaShae, you guys. I have definitely seen some results from working out with her Dance Tabata Season 2 workout. So y'all can get booty bands, water bottles, weight snatchers, yogi fits, anything that you need to work out and get your workout journey popping with Kiara LaShae. And also, don't forget to check out ISOT because it definitely helps with your stomach and detoxing and getting rid of bloat. So go ahead and get down below in my description box and check it out, y'all. Get this workout journey popping. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back for another Married at First Sight. I'm sorry, y'all. So many shows with marriage in the in the damn name. Okay? Married at First Sight, Marriage Boot Camp, Loving Marriage Huntsville. It's just a lot of stuff with marriage, okay? Family of Fiance does not have marriage in it, but it does have marriage involved in the subject matter, but then also so does Love After Lockup. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the notes. So, Married at First Sight, we are still on the honeymoon. We're actually on the last leg of said honeymoon. And it's fairies and butterflies with Woody and Amani. Amani is still scared that this is a honeymoon phase and she's worried about whatever the adjustment is going to be when they're no longer in paradise and they have to go to work and have the everyday life thing happening. Like, that's when the stressors come. And I think everybody is now entering into the mindset of what is it going to be like when we get home. But Woody tells her to just enjoy this moment of bliss. You feel me? Okay, enjoy this here. You know what I'm saying? The yeah with the yeah. So Olivia and Brett. Y'all, Brett has shown himself to be just, really, really annoying. Just really, really, really annoying. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. He's uptight, and his uptightness comes off as a form of passive aggressive control because he's insecure. Even though he's buff, there's still this insecurity because that last girlfriend cheated on him twice. So I feel like deep down, he tries to make everybody pay for every little thing that they do to him because he feel like he let that shit slide. So now he got to really dig in deep with everybody else. Nobody's gonna hurt me again. Okay, you're gonna leave me like all them other suckers I done made famous, so to speak. Okay, but he's nitpicking about how much she flosses, but there are some feelings. That's the way they described how they feel about each other, that there are some feelings. We're not exactly sure what those feelings are, but there's some. I'm just like, okay. I mean, that's fine. I just feel like it's a lot of flirtation going on here. I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't seem like the real. It doesn't seem like the real, So they go over to Woody and Amani's place. Olivia and Amani are friends. Brett and Woody not so much because y'all know how Brett left the whole bachelor party situation early, so he didn't bond, okay? Another thing is that, he don't know how to hold his liquor and he acting ass, I think. I also feel like Henry doesn't like Brett and thinks he's a jerk. And I think he and Christina have had that conversation behind the scenes. Okay, just letting y'all know that for future references. That a conversation about the way people view Brett as being an asshole, it's out there. It's out there. Amani is another person that is skeptical of Brett. Child, everybody's worried because Olivia is like a baby fawn, okay? You're just so scared. You know a fawn is a baby, but y'all know what I mean. Like, everybody is so scared that he's going to do something to hurt her. Like, it's all over everybody's face. Everybody is really worried about in this situation. And it may not necessarily be, in a cheating dog way, but just in the way he treats her and him feeling the need to control her when she is someone who is used to living their own life. So basically everybody is wondering when the other shoe is going to drop. Amelia and Bennett are wondering what will happen when they get home as well. They discuss his previous relationship and what his role was in that relationship and how, he folded clothes for her. And, when he would come home at night, she had left every light on for him so that he can see because he would be working late at night. So it was just, give and take. He's been in relationships before where there is some give and some take. So she plays a song for him on her guitar. Her guitar is really, really cool. A lot of interesting like drawings and stuff on the guitar. And then she has a really nice voice, and the song was really dope, and it kind of went along with the experience of being with someone in like a one night stand type of situation, but you know, loving them all the same. Like, I fell in love with you, and the only way that it'll stay as perfect as it is if, you know, I never see you again. I thought it was very catchy. I was here for it. I was just like, I like her. I really like her. They go out to explore, and they sit in a hole in the wall, and they talk, and they vibe, and they talk about what their experiences were growing up, and how basically, you know, Amelia was allowed to do whatever she wanted to do. Her parents were, you know, like, you know, live and let live. And I feel like, you know, that's great. But I feel like, you know, you should just be very happy nothing happened. Because I just feel like, you know, you shouldn't just be letting your kids go by no anybody house. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate the having a lovely childhood situation, but you can have a good childhood and not be allowed to go by everybody's house. Like, you know, those two things can happen. Ben says the only thing that he wants to make sure they stay on top of is curbing screen time. Like, not always on iPads and phones and all of that type of stuff. And I agree. And she agrees as well. So, you know, they're having this conversation. But also, we're wondering, do they know how to flirt? They've kissed and stuff. We haven't seen that on camera. So I'm wondering, how was it? You know, why didn't we see it? I guess it must have happened at night when the cameras weren't there. Cool, that's fine. But either way, it's just, you know, it's still like, when is the sexual aspect of this relationship gonna, you know, become a thing? We're waiting. We want to see. Not all of it, but, you know, just the energy. But Bennett doesn't seem to know how to flirt exactly. Like, a lot of men don't know how to flirt. I don't know where they get that from. Like, who didn't teach you this? With Henry and Christina, it's still weird, and he's noticing how much of a bitch she is. Y'all know what I'm saying, right? Like, she's hella picky, she's a little rude, she's obnoxious, really. You know what I'm saying? And she's rude to production, and I think that is also like really annoying him, that she's impatient and all of that type of stuff. And he asked if there's anything that he can do, you know, to make this better for her. And she says that he can be more aggressive, you know, make her move or something, you know, bust a move, you know, do something to show that you want this woman. And he just doesn't seem like the type. I don't know how this is going to work out if he's not going to make a move and that's what she's used to. He needs to have a, you know, a bit more patience, and she needs to be the aggressor, apparently, because it just kind of seems as if it's not going to happen if she doesn't make the first move. Later on, they go paddling, and, you know, she fell in the water, but they had a good time, and, you know, he went back around for her, lackadaisically, of course, you know, let's go and get the wife out of the water. Are you okay? All right, we're back on. Like, it was the best time he had the entire trip. Like, I have to admit, it seemed like that's when he was the funnest. Okay, so yeah, y'all, moving on. Karen and Miles, they go to the beach, and he tells her that he deals with clinical depression. Y'all, I almost lost my shit when I was watching this scene, because Karen is constantly doing shit to make me upset. Like, her saying in the confessional, once this man opens up to her about his clinical depression, her saying that she likes a manly man. And I was just like, what is a manly man, Karen? And why is it that you come off so educated and well-rounded, but you seem so ignorant when it comes to gender roles and toxic masculinity? Because I feel like I don't know what you're searching for in a man, but the last man you were with, didn't he have a baby on you?
That's type of toxic.
Or was he married? Yeah, like, that's the type of man you want. You want a man that is going to have a baby on you or cheat on you or whatever. Like, that's what you want? That's what you're looking for? They give you this man and he tells you he has clinical depression, and somehow you put that with his masculinity, as if men don't have depression, as if men don't have issues or things that happen to them in their lives that mess them up in one way or another. Like, what the hell are you talking about? He's a human. Like, what are men supposed to be like in y'all's world, man? Like, I don't understand. Everybody goes through depression, even if they don't compute it in that way, even if they don't call it that. Everybody goes through ups and downs, ebbs and flows. Some more than others. Him having to be on medication to control it does not make him any less of a man. And I'm just so annoyed that she would vocalize something so ignorant on national television about this man when he was being open and honest with her about the person that he is. There are a whole bunch of men out here who have mental issues. Does not mean they're not good men. Like, you sound dumb. That made me so mad, y'all. She did ask how to handle him when he was in that way. And he says he'll just say that he needs some time to himself, which is ironic because it's the same thing that she said, that she sometimes needs, time to herself. And it's like, it's so funny. So what do you think you be going through? Is it like only women go through emotional issues? Is that what I'm supposed to, gauge from that generalization of masculinity up against mental health? Like, what? It is 2020. How old is this bitch? Like, where's this mentality coming from? I just cannot. Woody and Amani go on an excursion and they ride a Zoom buggy and he drives and it was really fun. And, he got them there safe and sound. So, she like all turned on like, oh my God, he can drive a Zoom buggy. And then Brett and Olivia go to dinner and eat crickets and talk about how much money they make. And she makes more money than him. And, I think she's a nurse, right? Something along those lines. But she makes more money than him. And she talks about how, she goes out to eat a lot. She likes to travel. And, he makes it sound as if she's wasting her money by living her life that way. And he would rather invest and build something long term, as if people who invest and plan life long term don't vacation or travel or eat out. Like, you sound stupid. To me, you sound intimidated and he sounds insecure, y'all. He's just very insecure about the woman that they have put him with. Yes, she can be docile and play coy with you, but ultimately she is a grown-ass woman with her own aspirations, life, money, and with her own wants and needs. And they have such different interests, but he has a way of belittling things that he doesn't agree with. It was the same thing about him not wanting to answer the rating question. It's dehumanizing. It's not dehumanizing. Give me a fucking break. You are rated in every area of your life. And as a white man in America, you're number one on the totem pole in the social economics. So the fact that you want to sit up here and talk about shit being dehumanizing is just like, oh, word. Because people are out here like dehumanizing white men. Oh, okay. I'll wait on it. I'm just saying, y'all, I feel like it's something that people hear other people say so that they think they can take it on and say it whenever they feel like someone has made them feel uncomfortable. When that is not the definition of that. Like, cut it out. You're really putting 20 on 10. Later on, they talk about their intimacy, and she wants to take things slow. And, he just said, I will take things slow, but I'm definitely going to try. And I'm like, he should try. You should always try. Then they go swimming with stingrays, which was super cool, but the helmets that they had to put on their heads, for some reason, that made me feel like I would flip out. Like, I'm claustrophobic. So that made me feel like underwater and with the helmet on, I don't know if I could handle that. I think I might panic. And they also talk about how he thinks that she should change the amount of time she spends with her friends so that they can build their relationship. That's crazy, B. I smelled it as soon as you set it down. That's a good candle, boy. Ooh. But yes, I agree, that you can't have the same life as a married person that you have as a single person. And there is going to be some adjusting to that fact. But I also feel like a lot of it, comes from a place of controlling, her, and him feeling out of control of her because of, oh, I like to go out and eat. Oh, I have more money than you. Oh, I like to travel and vacation. Like, these are all things that he seems nervous and scared or, not really wanting to do in the same way. So her wanting to do that all seems like freedom in ways to get away from him. Like, I don't know why, but it just seems like that's the way he's probably computing it. And it goes into this passive aggressive space. So then the couples meet up. Amani asks, if anybody has been kissing. It is obvious that the producers give them the questions. And then on camera, one person out of the group asks the question. Period. Okay, these people are not coming up with these questions on their own. Okay, but Amelia and Ben say, of course, they've done a little smoochy. Christina and Henry, of course, have not kissed, but Henry felt like the question was towards him, and she was like, no, I was just asking in general. And really, because it's not just you, there are other couples, i.e. Karen and Miles, who haven't really, you know, seemed that attracted to each other either. Like, well, she doesn't seem that attracted to him anyway. Then Woody and Imani, of course, they have all the chemistry in the world. What kind of fruit is your spouse? I thought that was a really good question. Karen is a guava, said Miles. Okay, Woody is a pineapple, said Imani. And because pineapples are her favorite, he's a pineapple. Henry doesn't answer, and neither does Christina, because Christina was like, and it would be an apple or orange or something basic. The girls go and talk, and Imani and Amelia have great things to say. Okay, they are all here for the experience of it all. And then they rate the marriages. Okay, Ben says that he would rate the marriage a 10. Amelia says that she would rate it an 8. Woody and Imani both say a 9. Karen says a 6 or a 7. Miles says an 8. Then Karen says that she likes a very masculine man. And I love the way Amelia, even though she was laughing when she said it, said, or maybe he's just a really great guy and he really cares about you. Like, or maybe it's that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like that was her way of nicely telling Karen to fucking stop. You're sabotaging the situation by asking for the shit you complained about. Brett, on the other hand, says, how can you rate a set of orchestrated events? It's ridiculous. And it's like, well, if it's so ridiculous, Brett, why are you on this show? Why did you go through the process of being on this show and doing all of this if it was so beneath you? It makes no sense to me. Like, I can't stand people like him that always want to grandstand and try to make other people feel like crap for doing what we've all signed up to do. You want to talk about dehumanizing, degrading, your attitude is. Now, the women are at the bar and they're not that far away from one another. So Olivia rates them a 7 and he hears it and gets his little feelings hurt. You know, because he put his all into it and it's just a 7. Well, for women, y'all are always going to be less to the women because y'all are just happy that the women are sexually attractive. Like, that's y'all main thing. Y'all give bitches 8s because y'all are sexually attracted to them and they haven't bitten your head off yet. So it's an 8 off rip. Okay? For a lot of the men, I feel like. Henry was the only one that said a 7, and I think it's because Christina is annoying the hell out of him. Christina said a 5, and we all know, you know, why that is. He doesn't really put forth much effort. He barely looks her in the face when he talks to her. So when the ladies rejoined them, it seems as if Miles, Karen, Imani, and Woody went off to the bar, and then Brett, Christina, and you know, Olivia and Henry all were together. And Brett tells them that he didn't rate them because it was dehumanizing. And Christina was like, it's not dehumanizing. You're not rating her as a person or her body. You're rating your experience with this marriage so far. Like, just rate it. She did it. What's the big damn deal? He won't do it. So later on, she brings it up again because, you know, she feels like it's a telltale sign of him being a fuckboy. And I concur. I actually agree. And when she expressed how she felt to Olivia, you know, girl to girl, Olivia kind of got defensive. She didn't really show it, but she felt it. And she's like, you know, you've been with him for what, 5 minutes? And it's like, it's not even just that she's just been with him for 5 minutes. She's noticing things about him that she's seen before. So as soon as you see like 2 or 3 things that coincide with fuckboy tendencies, you like, girl, he a fuckboy. And I also think, like I said, that Christina and Henry have talked about Brett together. So I think they've already shared notes on his vibe. So then it's the last night. Ben and Amelia build a fort and talk until she falls asleep. I thought that was cute and funny. He just kept talking. Woody sets up rose petals and candles in the jacuzzi, and they enjoy each other until they decide to go and have sex. And that's what they did. Olivia and Brett talk, and she asks if something is wrong because she's noticed that something is wrong. So he's acting like, you know, nothing's wrong. He's acting like he's not upset, and she's, you know, picking up on it. So she's getting upset because she's like, well, you know, if something is wrong, please just communicate with me. Just tell me. That's a big thing for me. And he's just like, I'm fine. It's nothing. I'm fine. And so she gets up because she's, you know, really upset about it. And then he keeps referencing the cameras It's as if, you know, it means that the situation is not real or serious. And Olivia is upset about that. The next morning, he explains that he was hurt by her rating him a 7, and he didn't exactly handle that the right way. So he apologizes, and she accepts it and says that she won't beat him over the head with it. And he's feeling more optimistic that they actually had a disagreement and were able to get past it. Karen and Miles have a conversation, and he asks her when does she think she will be ready to be physical in some way. And, you know, she says it will happen organically, and they will both know when they're ready and when the time is right. And that's all she says, nothing specific. And then we see Amani and Woody, and, you know, they talk about how they had relations finally, and also how he pees in the shower, and she's bothered by that. And I just kind of feel like as long as he washes it, I don't understand what the big deal is. It's going down the drain. Everybody's fine. Okay, but yeah, y'all, child, Married at First Sight was a mess between Brett and Karen. Whew, y'all just doing a lot, you know. I'm just saying, y'all just doing a lot. It's not working on my nerve. But anyway, that was it. That was all. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.